And that's how we're going to get to our first guest here this morning, Chelsie Anderson, who is a worm enthusiast, and also I'm sure you campaign for everyone to start their own backyard composting site, right?
Yeah, backyard or indoor. I have my worms indoors. This is an indoor variety.
Okay.
But backyard is great as well. Just the worms work a lot faster than the outdoor compost pile, so that's what I like about them.
So tell us what you've brought here. And last time we came, I held a worm. I don't think I need to do that again because once is enough, I think, for myself. But start off with what you have here.
Yeah, I wanted to start off with the soil samples I brought. So this one here is, I don't know if you guys want to zoom in on that, but that's just the regular backyard soil from my garden. I've always added compost, but you can see it's really dry, kind of hard, gets into clumps. It's not that nice, even though I've always been topping it up. The other one over here is my worm castings, which have been in this container, believe it or not, for almost a year now. They're still moist, they're still beautiful, they're still very much alive, which is what I love about them. If you look under a microscope, you'll know that they're like teeming with life, with life.
And that's because of the worm.
And that's the worm. So this is actually, the worm castings are the worm poop. So yes, but you'll notice they don't smell bad. It smells quite earthy and delicious. This is exactly what we want to put into our veggie patches. It's the most potent kind of fertilizer that we know of, natural fertilizer that we know of. So when food goes through a worm, it comes out totally decontaminated. So you can get rid of all the chemicals and stuff just by using the worm as your...
Something I learned recently about composting is that it isn't always safe. I think it depends, of course, on how you compost, but how can you make sure that composting is safe and reliable way for you?
Right. Well, with worms, it's a pretty no-brainer. Like they really do take care of all the bad microbes, and that's the beauty of putting the worm castings into your soil, is that they will actually kill off those bad bacteria and stuff, which is phenomenal. In your outdoor pile, you just want to make sure you get a high temperature. And so you have to layer things. You use your greens and your browns and your sticks and everything just to get a nice layering technique, adding lots of heat to that, making sure it's in a sunny spot.
Where do you get the worms from? Just dig them up, or?
From Chelsie.
No, from me. Funny you should ask.
Okay.
So yeah, I've also brought in some worms today just to show you. They do hide, so I have to turn them over to actually expose them. There's a nice little knot of them in there, and they'll disappear in a few seconds here. So these are an indoor type of worm, like I said, so they'll only survive kind of between 0 and 30 degrees at the most. Our outdoor variety will hibernate in the fall, but these ones won't.
So how, say for Earth Day, somebody's now decided that they're going to do something and they want to start their own composting pile in their house. How is the best way to get started?
Get started, I go down the back alleys and I actually steal other people's leaves and all that really good organic matter that people think is garbage. To me, it's like gold. So I go around and I pillage those leaf sites where people drop them off. I just ask them to load them directly into my van. So get your leaves. I also work at the farmer's market here, so I go to the organic stall. He fills up my bucket every time I'm there. So I get these big buckets of nice organic waste. So again, it's organic compost. I just can't get over this. And again, it's garbage that's turning to gold. So I think that's the easiest way, to start piling up stuff that you can find around. Throw your own scraps in there.
You can get a bin at the organization that you're featuring, Green Calgary, as well.
They do sell those, don't they?
Yeah, and they have citywide sales at this time of year too, so you actually get a discount on your compost.
Good.
Yeah.
Is spring a good time to start, or is any time of year good to start?
You can start any time. Of course, in the winter, it just kind of freezes in place, and so you end up with this big mound of frozen compost. So right now it's more encouraging because you put it in and it actually starts to work away. That being said, if you wanted to eliminate that winter problem, you get your worms from a worm seller in town, and they'll work year round. So that's what I really like with them.
When you refer to it as organic, are you just putting organic materials into
because that's a funny
Okay.
word, right? The organic word. So what does that mean? Is it certified organic? And my understanding is that worms really do filter out all the toxins. So it would be a certified organic product by the time it gets through the worm. So I do add organic matter, like certified organic products to put in to begin with. But even if you don't, by the time it gets out, they will have filtered that. I heard Charles Darwin called them the intestines of the earth. So they're like, they kind of like digest. Yeah. So I like that.
Now, what you do with the dirt, you put that in your garden, right? And you can now grow stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And with the worm castings,
right?
they're just really, really powerful. So more so than your regular backyard compost as a fertilizer. So they say about 20% worm castings to the volume of your dirt, and that will be beautiful for increasing the root mass of your plants, increasing productivity of your plants, more fruiting properties, etc.
Let's talk a minute about your mom, because this runs in the family. She is a gardener, and what is she doing through this weekend?
Well, my mom is Donna Balzer, and this Friday she's going to be at the Agape Hospice doing a gardening talk as a fundraiser, as the kickoff fundraiser for the Agape Hospice. So they're trying to raise money for their garden. Last September, we had that Snowtember event where lots of the trees fell down and it really damaged their garden. So this year they're really trying to raise some money for that. So Friday night at 7 p.m. she'll be giving a talk, and she's just donated her time. So it's all the proceeds are going to the garden.
And the garden is the one at the hospice, right?
That's right, the hospice garden, yeah.
What a great place for people to be able to go and mingle is in a garden in that area. So.
Yeah, they call it the Serenity Garden. So the hospice, for people who don't know, is a place where people go to live their last few days or weeks of life. And so this garden is totally wheelchair and bed accessible. So people can be wheeled out in their beds with their families. They have a few little venues where people can sit around in the garden and just enjoy the space and the birds.
Nice.
Yeah,
What
and
a great
life.
day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Great to celebrate Earth Day. We could all get outside and think a little bit more into the gardens, right?